Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be making two 13 squared lined granny square bags that I had to complete in a span of 2 weeks, and I was very last minute with this. And I'm redoing my intro, that's why you're going to notice it's completely different, but I'm going to have this jump to the colors of the bag that I used for these bags. But I'm scratching this out because the intro that I did film was really trashy and it was really bad, and I look like a wreck. So we're gonna jump to that part, and you're gonna see everything else in this video in the present time. So let's roll it. These are my colors. I have to make two 13 squared regular granny squares. That makes sense? I've been having to say granny squares, sunburst granny squares, granny square bag, crochet bag. I've been having to say so much lately, and like it's all a tongue twister. I would think I'd have it down by now. But I'm going to call her the Neapolitan bag because she looks like Neapolitan. And this is what the squares look like. I'm going to explain how I like to do it. But I've been trying not to stick with it just because people are like, you shouldn't do that way. Do I know why? So this is what we got. We got our middle. And then I like to do, so since I'm going to have to be doing 13 of these, I already have 2 done. I don't know why I feel like I need to show, but I have 2 done already, but they're gonna be like, oh, cute. I was debating on doing like mix match where I do like, I don't know, like a pink center and then like brown it, like, I don't know, but I wanted to do something different. I wasn't sure how though, but I think I'm just gonna stick with this because I was basically given the task of figure out the colors, do it, like you find a style that works for you. So I was like, okay, don't worry about it, I will. So I usually like to start with like 13 of these and then call it quits, and then I start with my next row pink, and then do all pink for all 13, and then brown, and then black. And what I like to do, because I do not like weaving in ends, I hate it, and do you see him? He's right there. That's Bentley. Sorry, I had to point him out. Sometimes he'll stand sideways. It's great. So I do not like weaving in my ends, so I make sure that I always work with my ends so that I could just cut it, because I always do lining. This one, I don't know what it's called, but like, you know those designs on bandanas? It's like, starts with a P, pastry, paisley, I don't know what it's called, but, either I'll put a picture here, or I'll just like, you'll see it eventually, I don't know. So, but this is what we have so far, and yeah, we're gonna get started on this. Oh, the other bag, I don't think I'm gonna get into details right now on it, just because of the fact, and also please ignore that I'm looking around. My view right now is literally my backyard, and it's like beautiful, so I got so much going on. So I don't think I'm gonna get into the specifics of the other bag, just because then I have to go get the yarn, and I don't even have it figured out in my head right now on like what colors I want to do. All I know is it's granny squares, and she wants it to look like a flower, but not a flower stitch, because then the bag will turn out smaller. Does that make sense? So, but yeah, I'll be back with my next update. I don't know what it'll be, when it'll be, but I'll be back. So it's the next day. I have all 13 done. I think they look beautiful. Once again, this is the Neapolitan bag. And I have all my ends out. They're very atrocious right now, but we're gonna get them all cut off, weaved out, whatever. No, not weaved out, weaved in. And then I'm gonna do a layout of the bag. I don't think I'm gonna sew it together yet, or sew in the lining or anything like that. I think I'm gonna start on the next bag, but I'll update on what the colors are, the design of it, before I get started on the actual bag. So I accidentally forgot about you guys, but please ignore the super high exposure and all the cars passing by. I'm sitting in my car at Pick and Pull. I had to drive somebody here, but I brought my yarn so that I could work. But I was just thinking, and I was like, oh my gosh, I forgot to update you guys. So I was totally about to come back with all the bags done and be like, oops, sorry. But back on track. I have one of every color that I was going to do. I'm sorry that I didn't come back with all the colors, but I'll just show you. I have pink, dark purple, red, light purple, teal, would you argue about it? I don't care. I think I'm gonna call it teal. I want to call it aqua or something, but I don't know. Then we have orange, and then we have this beautiful blue. if I could ever get my hands on this to make like this in cotton, and I could make it into like a cute little like halter summer top, like a top like this, I would be so obsessed. Like I'd fall in love. But I already started working on the next one. I have 8 squares done so far, and I need 5 more. But after I get all those squares done, I haven't sewed together the other bag. I can't remember if I came back and showed you all the squares that I did do for the other one, but I have all the other squares finished for the other one, if I did not say that already. But whenever I finish all these squares, I'm just going to weave in and cut all my ends. Then I think I'm going to focus on the other bag first. I'm going to call it the exposure went down. The Neapolitan bag, that's what I'm going to call it. And this one I'm going to call Alice in Wonderland, because the lining that I'm going to have for this bag is Alice in Wonderland. And I tried grabbing colors from the inside of the bag, plus a little more, just so that like it pops and it's what the buyer wanted. But that's my update. I'll come back to this maybe when I have this bag sewn together and the other one before I do the lining, and then like after. I'm not sure, but we'll be back at some point. So bye. Okay, so it's the next day, and we have 26 granny squares complete. This is for our Alice in Wonderland bag, and this is for our Neapolitan bag. The one thing that I feel like I am gonna run into as a problem is it's nothing to do with the ends, my bad. I'm just fluffing them around. The number one thing that I feel like I am gonna have a problem with is I do not like sewing granny squares together. I dread it so much, and it's very frustrating to me. And the thing is, I probably have 20 darning needles or tapestry needles, whatever we're calling them, except I've lost them all, and I will honestly just find them on the ground or something. That is where I'm at right now. So I don't know where one is, so I have to go on an adventure to find one. But I will get lucky if I find one of my metal ones and not plastic. But I'll come back after we have both bags sewn in a flat panel. So I think I'll do sew a flat panel for one bag, sew a flat panel for another, show what it looks like. Then I'll come back to do like it sewed on and then the other lining sewn on, and then I think I'll come back with my final result after that. Is that a good plan? I don't know. I feel like it's decent. I'm happy. It's cool today. It's not dying of heat stroke, because if I'm going to be honest, my house has no central heating or air, so I have to rely on the windows and some stand-up fans. But I'll be back when I complete with everything that I just said. So sorry for the mix-up. BRB. Turns out, I officially reached that point to where I don't have any more tapestry needles. So, unfortunately, but fortunately, we have to go to Michael's. I would rather go to Hobby Lobby if I'm going to be honest. But Hobby Lobby is like a 30-40 minute drive from where I'm at currently. And Michael's is maybe an 8-minute drive. So it works out, but I'm trying to think of anything else that I might need, and I can't think of anything. So I think I'm just going to get a big pack of tapestry needles, right? Yeah. So then we'll be back with all that. I finished sewing the granny squares together to make the bag, and let me mind you, I haven't done a 13 squared granny square in a while, just like because I don't make these bags for me personally, just because I don't care for the style. Like, it's not my favorite granny square style bag that I could make. Like, I could make something way better. So what I did was I used a 4.5 millimeter hook, and I always use a 4.5 for bags, no matter like what it is, unless it's like a market bag, like where it's like netty, netty. Is that how you? I don't know, but I'm a little fed up with the bag right now because it looks so small. So here's the Neapolitan bag. Like, this one, it looks bigger just because of the style of it. And don't get me wrong, I really love this bag. Like, it's probably my favorite out of these two. It's just, it just looks so small. Like, usually they're a lot bigger from when I remember I did them a lot, but it just looks super small, and I don't understand why it's so small. But either way, I did the bag. I'm trying not to fight with it right now because they're beautiful. They're absolutely beautiful. It's just I'm worried that it's going to be smaller than what my buyer was wanting. Except if I did a 5mm hook, then it would be super gap-like and it just wouldn't really meet the criteria. So there's nothing that I could really do without making it super sized. So I'm gonna just sew in the lining, I'm gonna sew the bags together, and I'll come back with the bags. So be back. I'm back with an update, and I had lunch. What did I have for lunch? I had Carl's Jr. for lunch. Then I sewed in the lining of one bag. I had it all set up, but I forgot that I have, what are those, like, you know, you have a little cushion with a pin that you, like, to pin all your stuff in. I'm going on. Basically, I didn't have enough of those to pin the other bag in place, and I was gonna sew the lining in at the same time, but it was so hot. Let me remind you again, there is no central air conditioning or anything. I've got me a handy dandy little fan to work with. So it was super hot. I was burned out. I hadn't had any coffee. So I lay in bed. I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll just take like a 2-hour nap. And I think this was at 5 o'clock that I was like, okay, I'm done. Call it quits. Well, I'm up now. I had some watermelon. I'm going to have some dumplings and pot stickers for dinner. But real quick, since it is only 7:30, I did get myself a little thing of a shot of espresso. Oh my gosh, I cannot speak. Look at my eye. I don't know if it still looks so red, but for like the last day, it's been so red and it just burns so bad. But I don't like using eye drops because then it just like, it goes like, you know how some people, okay, TMI maybe, but like, you know how some people put like milk in their mouth and they can shoot it through their eyes? Well, all that stuff's connected, like it or not. So whenever it goes down through the back of my throat, and then I taste it going down. It is, I don't have any good way to put it. Like if I don't have to take eye drops for dry eyes, I'm not going to. Like, I'll just buff it out. It doesn't matter. But here's the update on the bag. And yes, I creamer down my shot of espresso because I'm not going to be miserable. So I also haven't sewn the bag together yet. I gave up on that. I just pinned together the bag. I feel like this is going on so long. Apologies. But I just pinned together the bag, the Alice in Wonderland, but I have the Neapolitan one sewn in. So this is what it looks like all the way, not all the way done. Oh my gosh. Like sewn in. So we have this one, and then we have our Alice in Wonderland one. I really thought that like the colors would go more with the inside, but I really should have done more pink instead of like this purple that like isn't even on there. Like if I got a chance to do this again, which I still have half a yard of Alice in Wonderland fabric to use, I would most definitely 100% do a pink theme bag. Like, and also look at my nails. I've had these on for 2 weeks. They're legit press-on, so don't judge. I'm not spending $70 on a set for French tips. Not me. But yeah, they're on. Just don't look at them this close because they look horrible. But like from here, you can't even tell. And I have to have nails because it makes me feel so put together. But that is it for this part of the rant. I'm not going to come back at all tonight, but tomorrow I'll be back. I'll be refreshed. Hopefully I'll be wide awake and I will have these bags done. There's another bag that I do need to make. Or wait, I haven't decided if I'm, okay. It's for a gift for someone I've never met. I know very little about them. The only thing I know is they like purple and chickens. But it's their birthday tomorrow. I get it to them in 4 days. And I want to make something because why make it, like, let's make a good impression for whenever we do meet them for the first time. But I don't know if that's going to be in this video. I don't know if it's going to be in this video or the next video or no video. It'll probably just be on TikTok. So go check out my TikTok. But that is all. I'm gonna take the other half of my shot and see you tomorrow. Bye. So this is the finished product of the bags. I'm giving them to the buyer right now. So let's take a look. This is the Neapolitan bag. I love how she turned out. She looks great. The lining, complete, absolutely beautiful. The straps here, absolutely so reinforced. She could put 40 pounds in this and she will hold. But this is how it turned out. And then here's the Alice in Wonderland bag. I was worried I wasn't gonna get it done in time, but I didn't. We have broken into the bag completely, so no curls, no nothing. But here are all the colors. I did 7 different colors. I had to leave one empty little square, and that's this pretty little pink one. Here's the lining, how it turned out, and I'm so obsessed with the bags. And I can officially say that I did 2 13 square granny squares in 2 weeks. Absolutely beautiful. So thanks for watching, and look out for my next videos. Bye.